And we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Today, we are going to be bringing balance to your house. And the way we're doing that is talking with my special guest, Amy Leigh McCorkle. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. And I'm so grateful that you took the time to come here to The Kim Jacobs Show virtually and to share your story, your journey, and to be able to help lives become better, in my opinion. So I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Well, I'm happy to be a guest on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, everybody, as you're grabbing your virtual seats, I want you all to know that you should invite as many of your friends, your family, your coworkers, church family, people from all over the world are dealing with this bipolar disorder that's plaguing the world. And so I really want everyone, if you would, just to invite somebody, invite anybody. So, just let me get somebody invited into this platform. I'm even doing it myself. So what I'm asking you all to do, I hate when people tell you to do something and they're not willing to do it either. So I actually want to lead by example and just take a moment and invite some people into today's conversation. So go ahead and do that and take that second. As I prepare, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my very special guest today. Her film, Letters to Daniel, has captivated audiences worldwide. And that's why I'm so glad she's here, because our show streams in 130 countries. So she has won over 100 film festival awards. Oh, I'm glad I said that, because this woman has won so many film festival awards that she should be highlighted on every film outlet across America. I was actually telling her about one of my friends that does an African-American film festival every year. And she was like, the only thing is I'm white. I said, well, white or not, Black people need to hear your story, right?
Yeah, I truly believe that, but I don't want to be talking out my rear end about something I don't understand sometimes. So I want to make sure
we're all one blood, regardless of our race. But let me keep introducing. Okay, now you'll make me have to go back, because I want to go back and just make sure that her film, Letters to Daniel, has captivated audiences worldwide, winning over 100 film festival awards and clinching its first industry recognized award at the 12th annual Indie Series Awards. Amy's accolades include Writer of the Year at AOF's No Risk Fee Fest in 2021, and I want to make sure I make those. How do I say that? Imagine.
Imagine.
I'm like, how is this spelled? An Imagine Award in 2020 for nonfiction and paranormal romance. Amy's work is deeply influenced by her journey. And her journey is what we're going to be talking about today. I'm not going to read all of that, because I want you to hear it directly from my guest about dealing with bipolar disorder. So we're going to deep dive into our conversation with Amy more on her Letters to Daniel. And that's available on all major retailers, as well as on audiobooks. And it's also a poignant testament to her advocacy. And it's also a film that's adapted and accessible on streaming platforms, including Amazon Prime. So it's a lot that you're going to hear from Amy today. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show, Amy Leigh McCorkle.
Well, thank you for having me. And since that, I have to update that, because the team won 4 Tellys for Letters to Daniel and a World Entertainment Award for screenwriting in 2025.
What? Congratulations. And I do know about the telly. You see back there in the back, I don't have 4. 1 telly award. That right there was a major thing.
Yes, it's hard enough to get 1. When we won 4, we're like,
you like mind blown.
Yeah, I'm just very grateful.
That is so good. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments. And again, taking the time to just be here with us today. And actually, just so everybody knows, what's bringing Amy here today is she's making what's considered like a pit stop. They're on this whole tour, The Ugly Side of Purpose. And it's a virtual tour where I actually had Celicia J yesterday. So if you missed that episode, check it out. She was talking about how she had been molested multiple times throughout her younger years and how she escaped the situation and how God has given her to do Highway to Healing. It's a whole coaching program that she does, and she's the author of I Survived. So she was on yesterday. And so today we are being blessed with Amy being here. And the founder of this virtual tour is it Jaquie? Lady J.
Yeah, it's Jaquie or Lady J.
Lady J. So thank you, Lady J, for trusting the Kim Jacobs Show and allowing all of your different featured authors, film producers to come here and make a pit stop here at the Kim Jacobs Show. I feel so honored. So, Amy, a lot of people would love to know, because not everyone that's tuning in today knows who you are. They may be meeting you for the first time here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So beyond the awards and the film credits, who's Amy? Talk to us. Who is Amy McCorkle?
I will say I'm an author. That's where I started writing when I was just this big, when I was 5 years old, and just knew I wanted to be in the entertainment industry, whether it was publishing or making movies or anything, or like stage plays. The mental health advocacy really came in later in life, in my early 20s, when I was pushing into the screenwriting part of my journey. And what happened is everything kind of like fell apart, and I didn't know what was going on. You know, there were advocates, but not many. Like the ones I pointed to were Patty Duke and Maurice Bernard, who plays Sonny Corinthos on General Hospital. And I really didn't relate to Patty, mostly because she was so much older than me. Okay. Her story I could relate to, in that I had been sexually abused as a child, and I had bipolar disorder, but it was easier to relate to Maurice, even though he was a guy, because he was closer to my age. He was more what is it called? He was more like a contemporary.
Right.
And but he was very open. And whenever I was in this first stages of healing, and I didn't know what was going on. I just knew something was wrong with something wasn't firing right. I felt like my skin was crawling. I could only sleep an hour at night. My thoughts were racing. Like it felt like they were on a racetrack. Stuff like that. And what helped with Maurice's, what I found, having someone to relate to. And when I looked up the numbers, it's a global, I tended to get United States numbers, right? But it's a global problem. And
yes, it is.
Stigma happens to be a really big problem, and what I found when I call it stumbling into advocacy, because I started off writing a blog, Letters to Daniel.
Okay.
And it was to help me. But what I realized on all these projects, I wasn't just helping me get better. I was helping other people feel seen, other people feel heard, other people feel protected. And I wanted caregivers to be seen and heard, because they're really the unsung heroes of mental health battles and struggles.
Right.
And what I realized in the studying of this globally is they said if you have just one person helping you,
Yes.
it becomes so much easier. Well, I was very blessed. My family, I have a strong support infrastructure. I had my best friend, I had my family, I had my psychiatrist, I had my therapist. And a lot of times, what I found in reading is some people are resistant to treatment, not because they're being willful, but because that's the nature of the illness.
Well, here I want to understand, because what you're saying is you're saying so many different pieces here, and so I just want to understand: is it that a person knows that they are dealing with this disorder and they're in denial, or they genuinely don't have a clue as to what to put their finger on and say, this is what's going on with me and I need this help to get it corrected, because they don't know what's wrong?
Sometimes it's both, is the really weird thing. I wasn't afraid to get help. Once I knew what to ask, and I have a sister who also was diagnosed with it.
Okay.
So she said, go in, ask to be evaluated for depression and manic depression. That's what it was called 25 years ago, basically.
Right.
But in which case I would say, go in if you are having these symptoms, if you suspect that you are having these symptoms, go in, ask to be evaluated for clinical depression and bipolar disorder. And sometimes people, actually the nature of the disease or illness is that you will resist it. And it may be that you're in denial. What happens is it's cyclical. Like, let's say you have an episode. Let's say I have a manic episode.
Okay.
And it usually lasts about 2 weeks. And then you're taking the medicine and you start to feel better, and you're doing all the things that you're supposed to do to make yourself feel better. And you feel better and you go, oh, I feel better. I don't need this medicine anymore.
Oh, okay.
And they'll stop taking it. And that wasn't my issue, but it is a very big one. And it's one to be try to be understanding of someone when they're battling with that, because your brain, what they say, well, why can't you just think your way out of this? Well, part of the problem is your brain is wired differently, and it lies to you and says, oh, you're better now, you don't need this. And then you'll also get people in different communities saying, well, you just need this, you just need one piece of the puzzle. Like for me, my spirituality, my relationship with God helps me with it. But there is also a symptom called religious ideation, which makes you think you are God. If you're not, like if you're in a full-blown psychotic manic episode, like a break, you may think you're John. I had a cousin who thought he was John the Baptist. And but God, God is good. He's taken a new medication, and he's coming out of the darkness of the disease.
Wow.
So,
there are like 37 million. I was looking this statistic up. It says 1 in 200, or 37 million people, live with bipolar disorder worldwide, according to the World Health Organization. And it's associated with significant disability and difficulties in many areas of life. And many times people are misdiagnosed or untreated and experience discrimination and stigma because they're not properly being diagnosed. So how do you get physicians to formally, you said you had to ask? You had to go in and say, can you check on me?
It took me, they say on average, it takes 3 trips to a doctor to get properly diagnosed. And
Oh, that's disturbing.
yes, and it's exhausting. Like the first time I went to go get diagnosed or to find out what was going on with my, my brain,
Hmm.
they said, "Oh, well, you're obsessing on this, and it's all in your head. So
Wow.
just get over it."
Okay.
And the problem is one of the symptoms is you can obsess on things. So,
Wow. So
so
exactly what one of the symptoms really are listed as, you can actually, that is one of the symptoms. So that's why you're bringing it to the attention of this physician saying, I am obsessing. And this is one of the things that if you look at the characteristics or the traits,
yeah.
obsession is kind of one of those things. So with you, what advice, because I want to hear, what advice would you give people that are in denial and won't take it seriously that there may be something going on, or get really offended if you say, I think you need to get some assistance or get checked, and you love the person or you love the people that you might be saying
Yeah.
that to, or they love you and they're
You
telling you you need to get some help. So it's not a
okay.
you telling everybody. What advice would you give?
Okay. So what I found is my blog first did it, and then my book. And it can be any memoir. Let's say there's a writer or a filmmaker or a musician that your loved one admires,
Mm.
or and maybe and they've got a book out, and you say, hey, I think you might be interested in this. And then you don't tell them, hey, I think you got bipolar disorder, but I said you may be able to relate to this person, you may
Mm.
be able to relate to this story. And if you
Okay.
do, let's have a conversation.
So that's a
Because,
subtle way of doing it. Okay. So if you find yourself in any part of that story, or if that relates to you or connects with you, then let's have a conversation.
yeah, and I would tell caregivers there are support groups from NAMI, and they're I think they're global, but definitely nationwide in the United States and Canada.
Okay. What is
Uh,
that called? What is it called?
NAMI, National Alliance for the Mentally Ill. And
Okay.
they have like different support group. They have
Yeah.
like local chapters all
Yes, I
across the
see it.
country.
Okay. So that's
And
NAMI.
yeah,
NAMI is a nonprofit organization, and you can get mental help support. And I'll put the website too, NAMI.org. That's good to know. Okay, go ahead.
and what they have is they don't just have support groups for the people like me who have the illness. There are support groups for the caregivers, like the moms, the dads, the husbands, the wives, the sisters, the brothers, the best friends, where they can go and talk and get maybe some wisdom and some support, so they don't feel isolated and alone in the fight.
Okay. That's really good. I'm typing that because, okay, National Alliance on Mental Illness. That's very helpful. So if you know that you're dealing with something that is abnormal in your own opinion, forget anybody else telling you. We know our bodies. We know when some things are going on that we need to go to a medical doctor to get some further evaluation or get it reviewed. It's the same when it comes to our mental health. If we're
Right.
dealing with something that is just seems like, mine, I'm not getting the outcome I'm looking for. Every time I'm dealing with people, I feel people are telling me I need help. People are trying to handle me like I'm offended, but really they're trying to say something's going on that's a little bit off. Go visit NAMI.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness, and please get the help. National Alliance on Mental Illness. I love this. Thank you for sharing that resource too, for sharing that with us, Amy. That's great information.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so when you were first diagnosed with bipolar disorder, how did that really shift and shape the trajectory of your life?
Okay. So it was a couple of things. One, it was a relief to know what it was. I had a name for it.
Okay.
It wasn't me. It was an illness. It was a disease. It was a disorder. And it was something I could address. At the time, I was struggling to write at all.
Mm.
And whenever I got the diagnosis, they put me on lithium. And lithium is a good medicine. It's just I happen to have reactions, physical reactions to the medication. But it often is the search for the right drug cocktail.
Okay.
And so even though it was a relief, it was kind of like if you said it to somebody, it was dealing with stigma. Stigma was real hard. I lost a job because they said, "Oh, you have bipolar disorder," and I was like, "Well," they say, "Well, there's a law against that." Well,
right.
But I lived in Texas, and that's a right to work state, and they can fire you because
for any reason.
For your eyes are brown, and it was traumatic because I thought, I can't control this. Why are they doing this to me? And eventually I had to move back to my hometown in Kentucky. But the wonderful thing is I started writing. I couldn't write for about 5 months, but then I started writing again. And one of the scripts that me and Missy co-wrote, we submitted to Lee Daniels.
Okay.
And he passed on it twice, once at the 6 months mark. And then he called us and gave us a pep talk. And Hollywood don't give a rat's patootie.
They're like, no personal issue here. We're just telling you the facts.
Yeah. And so, but he said, you all have talent. You all have, and actually, it was kind of amazing. And we got through the first leg of Zod Perry. At the time, they were the ones who were behind the American Pie movies.
Okay.
But it was hard, but we weren't going to festivals or anything at that point. And but this diagnosis made me realize, when I started getting better, writing was a big part of it. Like journaling.
So that was therapeutic for you to start getting some things out of your system.
Yeah, and that's why I did the 4 memoirs. And then Missy said, "Amy, you're struggling again. You should definitely find another way to get into the letter writing."
Okay. And
so the letter writing book I'm writing now, instead of letters to Daniel, letters to Matthew, letters to, to Dell, letters to Amy, is I'm writing Dear Matt and Ben, as in Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, because they were best friends. And so me and Missy related to them.
Right.
And so we're just, it made me realize that writing is like, it was like the final piece to the puzzle, because my therapist said, "Hey, you need to journal." And I kept resisting that.
Right.
And then I finally started journaling, and it was like I was taking my medicine like I was supposed to. I was going to my appointments like I was supposed to. And now I'm very close to, I've been on medical monitoring.
Yes.
And I've had to go often on that. But I'm very close to being on medical monitoring again.
Congratulations. And so I'm honored that you're taking the time to come here, and this show is all about how people balance different aspects of their lives, what they've had to overcome to become who they are today. And so you're
Yes.
literally just ripping the mask off and letting people know that there were some moments that happened in your life that you had to communicate with physicians. You had family that were advocates for you and advising you and encouraging you to get some help that you needed, and you took heed to it. What was like a rock bottom moment for you that you realized at that point that this is where the rubber meets the road? I have to get the help that I need.
One night, I didn't want to go into work because of the. I worked at a place called Bill Miller's, and it was like really cramped and stuff. And I was crying, and I cried for 8 hours straight.
Mm.
And I was like, okay. And it took that and Missy, who is my best friend, who is my writing partner and best friend and everything. She goes, I don't know what it is, but you need to get some help. You need to go talk to somebody.
Okay.
And so her encouraging me, and then my sister saying, this is what you do when you go XYZ, when you go into the office. So I was very fortunate.
Good.
I know that women, it's harder for women to get taken seriously. And I will also say, not from my own experience, but from stuff I've read, women in the African American culture had like the hardest time of all. Yes. Getting taken seriously on this. And what I would say to everyone, like globally, is when you go in to get evaluated, if you come to a point where you realize, hey, yes. I don't know if it's bipolar disorder.
I don't know what it is, but something's not right.
But something's not right. Just keep pushing forward. Because you're going to have
pushing forward. Somebody type that. Keep pushing forward, because you have to be your own advocate. Keep pushing forward. Don't stop until you get an answer.
Yes, and and know that you don't have to give up. It's like bipolar, that you will have a new normal, but I will say you can still have your dreams. You can still, because I think what people don't see sometimes when they hear the diagnosis, they see that and they don't see what we are. And we're just human beings who have hopes and dreams and stuff too. So I think that globally, just be your own strongest advocate. But if you can find that one person, and that one person for me when I was down in Texas was Missy. Yeah. And if you've seen, if you want to see the movie, and you'll see that I was not always the nicest to Missy. And
no, please tell me I'm a sleuth. I'm back here in the back office trying to see, because I don't have a picture of Missy. So I'm gonna put something up.
That's her.
That is her. Yes, Kim, you are brilliant at what you do, girl. Yes. So Missy.
Yeah. And
so she's very important in your life. Very important.
Yeah.
So how important is it to have that one ride or die? Somebody you can just at
it
all
is
times reach
essential. And also, not only was there Missy professionally in 2016, I met Dale Weston, and unfortunately he passed from COVID in August of 2021.
Okay.
But this is the gentleman. He is
Dale Weston. Okay, here, let me put you over here. Put it up a little closer, because I don't have that picture. Let's see. Oh, Dale. Hey, Dale.
Yeah.
Dale. You're still being talked about, and you're one of the cloud of witnesses for Amy McCorkle.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dale, for your impact. Praise God.
And he was a champion of mine professionally, Kitty, no, get down. Sorry.
Oh, that girl, this show is about how we balance our lives right in real time. You can go ahead and put what's the thing? What's the animal name?
Nancy. She's
Nancy can come right on screen, trust me. So that's fine.
She's so funny. She's like,
like, I know you're not on a good show and you're not even gonna let me get my debut. Are you Hey Nancy, we hear you. We hear you back there.
If she gets in my lap, if she comes over to my leg, I'll lift her up and show her. She's 12 pounds.
Nancy.
She's 12 pounds of white and ginger.
Oh,
with the little freckle on her nose.
And you know what? Even I know we're talking about your friend Melissa, but also talking about Nancy for a second too, because having a companion or a pet, I believe pets are very loving in nature. How has that helped you in dealing with bipolar?
Oh yeah, I've had 3 cats in adulthood, and unfortunately, one was and they've all been gingers of some kind. The first one was China, and she was with me from almost the beginning of being back in Kentucky until when me and Missy's work was first recognized at a film festival.
Wow.
And then there was Luke. He was diabetic. So he had a short life. He was only 8.
Wow.
And then Nancy, the day Luke passed, Missy was showing me pictures of the different animals, and they showed a picture of Nancy, and she was hunkered down and her ears were flat. And I was like, I knew whoever got her, she was probably feral. And that she came from a hoarding situation.
Oh, okay.
So I went and I got her, and she did not meow the whole way home. And when we let her out, she crawled up into the couch for 2 days, and then I had to have my cousins, the cat whisperer, get her out from underneath there, and I got her back in the pet carrier, and then I put her in my room, and it was she didn't meow for 4 months.
Oh, wow. So she had a lot of transition and who knows, like you say, what she personally went through. And so she needed you just as much as you needed her. And now she's like, hey, I'm ready to get in your lap. I'm rubbing on your legs. I'm a part of the fam. I'm home.
Yeah, the way we tamed her was with lunch meat.
She's like, you know what to do. Now I'm at home. Like, forget that cat food. I need some homemade cooking, some home cooking. That's so good. That is so good. So what we're talking right now, I want to just transition a little bit and talk about these letters to Daniel. And for those of you that may not have seen the clip, I want to take a moment and give you a chance to see this film that is the trailer for the letters to Daniel, and then we will go from there. Let me put it where we can make it a little larger and see if y'all can see this. Can everybody see it? Yeah, I think we can. We're going to listen to this clip for a second, and then we'll come right back on.
Dear Daniel Craig, life did not always look like this. This marked a moment of triumph, a way of crushing an abysmal past and daring those with a stereotypical view of those with mental illness to challenge me on any front. To many, this was just a documentary. For me and Missy, this was our love.
It's like my skin is coming off. And my thoughts, they're racing so fast. I can't keep up.
I'm suffering too, you know. You're not the only one.
Like my mind is coming apart and I can't get it to come together.
I think it's more than just that. Amy's been having a really hard time lately. She goes on these crying jags. She explodes without warning. She's so angry and so paranoid these days. She's not the happy Amy that I remember from Kentucky.
She thinks you're manic depressive. I, however, do not. I think this is something you've been obsessing on. I believe that it's all in your head.
Took a lot of brain waiting for her. She's come here. We're going to get you some help. I'll be okay. We do have a diagnosis. You have rapid cycling manic depression.
Dear Daniel Craig, bipolar disorder and those that saw it as contagious sought to pull me under, snap me in half, break me down. Even those well-intentioned do-gooders who see therapy and medication as bad and wrong, who see mentally ill individuals as hapless and hopeless, they're wrong. I found hope in your work. A comrade in Missy, my rock when no one else understood. You two are my twin lights when this disease threatened to take me down. And treatment was what got me through. Thank you, Daniel, for your talent and your work. Thank you for everything. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.
All right. All right. Bravo. Bravo. I mean, that's just a riveting piece. And thank you so much for even sharing that with us. Talk to us from your perspective about what inspired you to write and to produce this Letters to Daniel.
Okay, so we adapted it from my memoir of the same name. And I just felt compelled to tell the story. Not necessarily yeah, I want to make money with my work. Yes, I want to be known for my work. But the point of Letters to Daniel, the point of Letters to Daniel was to make people this movie. I wanted to make a movie, but I wanted to make a movie that mattered. And this movie that mattered was my story of I was inspired by Daniel Craig's work. I don't know him. I haven't met him. I want to make that clear. Yeah. But I was inspired by his work, and he is also a strong mental health advocate because he struggled with the blistering fame that came along with James Bond. And he was basically under siege during his time, performing as that. And so he would help people and he would speak about what it was like. And so that also inspired me. And so I went to Missy and I said, Missy, I want to make a movie through the prism of our friendship. Mm-hmm. Because that's how people are going to relate. And I said, and I want people to know about what it's like to be me and what it's like to be you. Because a lot of times you get it from the caregiver's point of view. And there's nothing wrong with that because I think we need those movies. But I felt like we needed one that would make people like me seen and heard and protected.
That's really good from both perspectives. So, because in that clip, I could see her, I could see you, and both are important and necessary because without her, you could have gone way different direction without her pulling you back in. So I love the interaction and the way you painted the picture.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. So Even when I'm writing genre work like paranormal romance or anything like that,
Yeah.
it stems from Letters to Daniel. And now I've got a distribution deals for the last 3 screenplays in the film franchise. And so I'm at the time I'm shopping it, looking for investors, that kind of thing. But we're supposed to film next June, all 3 of the last. And we also have a limited series in development spin-off of it. So,
Good. Well, congratulations.
well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your work. And sometimes I'm thinking too, this has to be so much vulnerability that you're sharing. And especially when you're putting it into a book or into a film. What was there any specific piece of this that was the most difficult for you in writing, especially writing a book? It's like, I want to share, but I want to be careful. And so was there any part that was really challenging for you or hard?
Well, it was, I will say, the book was not challenging because it was like stream of consciousness letters.
Right. Okay.
So what was in came out. And I always felt, I said it felt like the insides were being scrubbed clean.
Yes.
When I did that. Now, when I wrote the script, this scene did not make it into the final cut, but it was the experience of being fired from that job. That was the hardest thing to write because it actually, I got to page 45 and I was going to write that scene and I kept waiting and waiting and waiting because it was very raw. But once I got past that scene, everything was pretty easy.
And have you ever gone back? Because that seems like it's really a sticking point with you. Have you ever had the opportunity to have any further interaction with that company to let them know how that made you feel as a person that lives with bipolar disorder?
No, initially we tried to I tried to get unemployment, but they were, you know how it is in our right to work state. But no, I haven't told them, but the story has made it into the memoir. The story has made it. I made another movie called Breaking Through, and I confront them through that.
Wow. Okay. So they're a part of your journey and your story forever at this point, because it's going to be your legacy piece that's left for your family and everyone beyond. So you've won over 100 awards. I was researching this, including recognition as the Indie Series Awards. So what did that moment mean for you personally with this diagnosis?
It was amazing. It was like we were meant to be. The girl who wrote the original song, who won the award for the film, there's a song at the end of the movie called Here With Me by Stephanie Ray, and you can look that up on YouTube.
Here With Me by Stephanie Ray. Somebody make sure you type that and look it up at some point. Okay, go ahead.
And I met her father at Indie Gathering, same place I met the composer of the music.
Right.
And he said, "Oh, I'll get you a song. I'll write you a song for your movie." And I said, okay. And he goes, "Well, I couldn't write it, but my daughter, what happened was his son was diagnosed with cancer. And his daughter, who is very talented singer, songwriter, actress, and was getting some traction in Disney and on stage and stuff. And what happened was she had a breakdown and they had to put her in an institution.
Okay.
And the first work she composed coming out was the song for this movie.
Oh.
And this song was submitted by Warner Music Brazil to the Oscars that year.
Wow.
So the song is so beautiful. So if you get a chance to hear it, go look at it, support her. The song actually got her an artist deal with Warner Music Brazil.
And here, that was her first debut experience. Look at God. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, you'll be her guinea pig anytime, right? It's like, please use me any day. That's a beautiful thing. And so I know that was a very special moment for you. I have some pictures here that I was going to pop up too. This one is Ace Honors is coming up.
Yes, I directed a movie last Labor Day weekend called Agent A Awakens, and it is kind of like if you've ever seen the movie Hannah or La Femme Nikita or No Return. It's got that kind of flavor, but we only have 1 or 2 action sequences because we made it for like $500, and we filmed everything on this.
Okay.
But the fact that I am nominated at all is what I feel blessed. And there's the scoring rubric. Part of the rubric is a popular vote. I'm in the independent categories.
Okay.
They have mainstream categories. Like some of the things in the mainstream categories are like, I know you've heard of the show Beyond the Gates.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, I love that show. My friend is the creator of it, and she is amazing. She was one of the first. I would say she's my Twitter friend before Twitter went to
become X and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Right? But I would say we're Twitter friends.
Oh, that's funny.
She was she supported Letters to Daniel from the time it was a blog entries to the movie.
Okay.
And the Beyond the Gates, they got Forever Sisters.
Oh, hey, you got some serious players up in there, and now you got Amy Leigh McCorkle in the independent category.
I'm just in the independent category. Those are the mainstream.
Let's take that back. You are in the independent category, and guess what? You are making inroads, and that's why you're being recognized for your work.
Yes, I'm really excited for the re-up experience because I was named for an honoree for Trailblazer of the Year.
Yes. Okay. Oh, congratulations. Well, I can't wait to hear more, and hopefully you'll get a chance to come back on the show some more, even to talk more about your different awards that are yet to come. And I know also I saw this and I thought this was pretty Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. It was about 1.5 years ago. I was named to the International Indie Filmmakers Hall of Fame.
Look at you. I found all of these pictures. You didn't know I rolled like that, right? Oh, you're doing your thing over there. Listen, I want you all to know that even on this tour, a stop that's happening on tomorrow here on the Kim Jacobs Show will be Ron Godfrey. So he will be here tomorrow on the Kim Jacobs Show, the Ugly Side of Purpose virtual tour stop that's coming through the Kim Jacobs Show. And you're meeting all of these fantastic individuals. And in his case, he actually turned his pain into purpose, and some things going from even being a youth pastor, you name it, this man has experienced it, and he's going to be here sharing his stories about how he's had some major setbacks, but how faith helped rebuild him. So make sure y'all let everybody you know to be a part of the broadcast on tomorrow as well at 11 o'clock a.m. I do also want to tell you all, if you have not taken a moment to support the Kim Jacobs Show, you know how sometimes you get not because you ask not. So I am asking today for 10 individuals, 10 that believe in the Kim Jacobs Show, to send $100 donation. And you can do that in any format and platform that works for you, whether you use Venmo, you can do that at the Kim Jacobs Show, patreon.com. And that's our membership program, patreon.com/the Kim Jacobs Show. You can do Zelle or Apple Cash using the phone number 704-962-7161. And what's the other way? paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. So if you are going to be one of those 10 people sending the $100 contribution, then please let me know so I can show you some love and thank you on this show while we are live. Say, Kim, look, I'm in. I sent it. All right. I see some comments coming in, Amy, over on Instagram, quite a few comments. So let me say, because you're not getting to see those because I can't pull them over on the screen. But Dove White says, great conversation. I am one of them. She said, I'm one of them. Thank you, Amy. Keep pushing forward. It's so helpful and glad that you're sharing your story. You're very powerful. Congratulations. Lots of comments coming in on Instagram. So thank you all. Keep your comments coming. And I see you all over there. Anybody else have comments? Okay. Oh, I see Hiawatha said, congratulations. Jack Quick. Lady J is on. She said, that's my girl, Amy.
That's my girl, Lady J.
We just put your picture up, Lady J, and we actually talked about your tour. And where's that picture? I put it up here earlier, but that's the ugly side of Purpose virtual tour. And I share with you all that Lady J is the visionary behind that. And so we're really honored that you're here with us today. What a great show, Dr. Jacobs. Thank you so much, Hiawatha. What a great testimony I was able to hear. You have to come on the show, too. You have to come on the show. She has a powerful story and probably could join y'all Ugly Side of Purpose tour. All right. Let me keep it going. Woo! Amen. I said a whole lot. But how does your mental health, in your opinion, really help your journey to influence other people with their creative process? Because there are so many creatives out here, but they really are stuck. So how does your mental health journey help open it up for other people?
Well, I would say, and they don't have, this is just something I do. I walk, because there's all kinds of different things you can do. But I always, please, if you have not gotten help, know that there's no shame in it.
That's good.
No shame. If you are diagnosed and are, prescribed medication, please give it time to check, kick in, give it time to work. Because sometimes it takes 2 to 4 weeks for the medicine to actually start working. And know that prayer and God are a good part of it, but don't listen to people when they say you just need Jesus, because you really do need your medication and Jesus.
Okay, prayer and God is important.
But remember to
use your medication. I'm typing it, important, but use your medication too. This is some advice that Amy's giving you. Do not just be like, okay, God gives gifts to the doctors too, so that they use their gifts and talents, is what I'm hearing her say. Say that, Lady J. You gotta say that, Amy. Say it, girl. Yes. And, prayer and God are important, but use your medication too. Okay. Very important is what she's saying. Very important.
And I would say also, I had a friend whose body did not react well to medication. So listen to your doctor, like psychiatrists, therapists, listen to your team of loved ones. If your inner circle usually they see it. Sometimes they can see you going off the rails before you do. And if they do see it, be open to them saying, hey, what's wrong? It's okay. We can talk. Is your medicine not working right? Amen, Hiawatha.
Hiawatha said, use your medicine in conjunction with God. Now, I'm a whole pastor, y'all. So let's be very clear that I believe wholeheartedly that God can heal your body regardless of any situation that you're dealing with, because he is the author and the finisher of our faith. And I believe that with my whole heart. He works miracles, not just in Bible days, but in the 21st century right now in people's lives. But I also believe that he gives the gifts and the talents to the doctors so that they can share their gifts and talents to help us with some of the things that we're dealing with. Use both. Okay, go.
Yeah. And I understand some people sometimes they have bad reaction, like negative reactions to the medicine. So be sure to use your spiritual faith, whether you're Jewish or Christian or whatever. And because there's a lot of faiths out there. There's
lots of different versions of what people believe.
Yeah, but it's good to use your spirituality with the medicine. I found that conjunction, like you said, I believe God gave doctors the gifts and talents
he did.
To help us whenever, so if you're not don't be afraid if you feel like your medicine is not working. Don't be afraid to reach out for help.
That's right.
And say, hey, this isn't, for some reason I'm feeling wonky, for lack of a better term. Can we talk about that? I need to set up a time to talk.
That's good.
And in loved ones, if you notice your people like me are maybe a little off balance.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask them. Know that they may not react the nicest.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to interject and say. I know I personally have said that to some people that are very near and dear to me that I love with all of my heart. I love them just as much as I love myself. And I get gone off on. And I'm like, okay.
Not like my poor mother. She goes, Amy, I don't want to walk on eggshells. There are times when I am not 100%. And I would say, individuals, if you have moments where you are not yourself and you're struggling, when you get back on your feet or you get more balanced, make sure you go back and make amends to those people. Because even though maybe what you did was more the disease than actually you, you're still responsible for your own actions.
I love that you are here saying these things. Go ahead, finish and you can.
Yeah, and then I would say, don't be afraid to apologize, to make a full apology.
Wow.
And loved ones, leave your heart open. And I have a problem with how some of the mental health issues are shown in the news media, because I think they mean well, but they end up being sensationalized. They end up it ends up perpetuating that stigma that we're trying to put an end to.
This breaks. Sometimes what you're saying, it actually it kind of is breaking my heart a little bit, because you can have the best interest of someone else in mind, but if the person does not see that you are helping them,
right?
And what if they're not on any medication and won't take medication, won't even go and see if there is the possibility of what the disorder is? What can you do? What can a person do except for me?
Yeah, I would say love them, meet them where they're at, and maybe try that light touch we talked about at the beginning. Say, hey, I got this book by this guy you absolutely XYZ love.
Now, this is where the difference in nationalities come in. I don't know if it's a white or black thing, but people I know, they do not be saying, oh, let me read the book and figure out how I'm going to apply that character to my life. They're like, screw you. Yeah. I mean, they're giving me the business. They're not being
Or
like,
you could say, or you could do something and not even mention it, saying, "Hey, I've rented this movie, and I've heard it's a real good movie. You want to hang out tonight?"
Oh, okay. Go, Amy. You're like, we're gonna watch a movie about you. They'll be like, they're gonna get up in the middle of the movie and walk.
Yeah, I have a sister who doesn't, even though she was diagnosed with it, she's in denial. And whenever she goes off bad. And so I can definitely relate to that. So all I can really do is love her and meet her where she's at.
Right. Okay. Wow. How can people stay connected with you, Amy, and what can they do to be a part of anything that you're doing, because you're so open and willing to help people?
Okay, well, you can reach me on Instagram, letters to Daniel, all one word, and all my other social media platforms. I am either A.L. McCorkle or Amy Leigh McCorkle, as you had up there. And on Facebook, Amy Leigh McCorkle. I'm very open. I'm on Blue Sky. And I have a YouTube channel that has my work.
I love your YouTube channel too. This is good.
And it's Healing Hands Entertainment. And let's see. And also I have an email if you want to reach out to me. amyleigh07@live.com.
That's good.
And so if you have a personal journey you want to talk about, you can always reach me at that email on any of those platforms. You
host Recovery Unplugged live. So what kind of conversations are you having over there so people can know when they do become a part of those conversations, what to expect?
When I am now doing a Recovery Unplugged is kind of shuttered because the person who was my producer had to go to work and support his family. But I am doing another podcast, Letters to Daniel, under the Letters to Daniel name. And I talk about the same things we're talking about here.
Okay. And so when can people see the podcast? Is it just going to the Healing Hands Entertainment YouTube channel? How can they see
go to the YouTube channel?
Okay.
And I've got 2 months worth of episodes up now, and we're getting ready to go do more recordings.
Excellent. Okay. Now, in just kind of like one word type of thing, or maybe one or two words, whatever, some kind of rapid fire situation, what describes your journey in your opinion? Give me a word that describes your overall journey. Come on.
Determined.
Somebody type that. Determined. This woman is, I was going to say resilience, but okay. Determined is what I thought of resilience, and you said determined. So what's a habit that you do on a day-to-day basis that really keeps you rooted and grounded?
I write a letter every day.
Oh, you write a letter every day. Do you always share that letter, or do you just write it and
it used to be a blog. But now they're books. I collect them together. And whenever it gets long enough, I publish them.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your book, your letters with us, because it's part of your legacy that you're leaving and building as you're going through life. So thank you, because it's the inside minds of so many other people that may never put their pen to paper. So thank you. Is there like a mantra, a scripture, a quote, anything that you really feel like this is me all day long? I live by this.
Never quit. And it was from Winston Churchill.
Okay. So never, ever quit. Even when someone else quits on you, you don't quit. Don't ever quit. Don't ever quit on yourself.
That's it.
All right.
That's right.
And what brings you the greatest joy in writing these letters to Daniel and filmmaking and getting these awards and all these things? What's bringing you the greatest joy?
The greatest joy is getting to meet some of my heroes. I've gotten to meet Maurice Bernard. I've gotten to meet Kevin Smith. I've gotten to meet Cindy Cowan. I've gotten to meet, all these people. Like when I go to these festivals or film markets or events that are held. Like one of the greatest bucket listings I got to do is go to Macbeth and see Daniel Craig play Macbeth with his James Bond body still. So
that's awesome. So you're coming into contact with greatness all over the world, and they're coming into contact with greatness through you. So, okay. My final thought on this whole thing today, with us learning about bipolar disorder, how to be a caregiver and a family member of someone that's struggling with it, whether they know they're struggling with it or not. You dropped so many significant nuggets of hope and inspiration. If you were able to kind of sit down with your younger self back when before you ever started writing and before the diagnosis, before all of the awards and all of that, what would you say to that younger version of Amy?
It's going to happen. It's just not going to happen in the way that you think it is.
Wow. And that's why I am going to find one of those sounds that is a drop the mic, because I don't have that sound effect over here. But I want to tell you, you've been the heartbeat of the show today. And thank you for blessing us and gracing us with your presence. Thank you, Lady J, for trusting the Kim Jacobs Show and bringing your tour right through our station here, and we greatly appreciate it. For everyone that is anywhere local in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, I am a new pastor here in Charlotte and pastor at Promise Fellowship Church, PFC. And we have our services at the Brownstone Signature Events venue. So 12080 University City Boulevard, right in Harrisburg, North Carolina, 5 minutes from UNC Charlotte. So come on out, fellowship with us on Sundays at 10 a.m. And we did just receive an award as the Kim Jacobs Show through CTR Media Network on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV, and all of those different outlets. If you download the CTR Media Network app, we're under the self-improvement channel, the Kim Jacobs Show. So thank you all for helping us be honored as number 4 this previous month with over 23,000 views. Thank you for that. We really appreciate you. And for all that donated today, I haven't been able to look at the same time while I'm hosting the show. I thank you in advance, and I will be definitely saying some personal shout outs. Thank you. Amy, any closing comment?
No, it was a wonderful time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're a game changer. Thank you for blessing us by being here today. Listen, thank you for tuning into this episode. Everybody on Instagram, I don't want to not acknowledge someone. I see you, Just Chill. I see you, Dove White. I see all of you all that have been over here. I see all of your comments and really appreciate you all. I saw quite a few of you all. I can't name everybody, but I can just tell you, I saw you, Mom. I saw you. I saw all of y'all. I see Hawatha. I hate to not acknowledge people, but I definitely saw all of you all. And Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, I didn't even see her comment. Dr. Tina J. Ramsey is on. That's why I better look back, because she'd be like, oh, I know she did not just not acknowledge me. She is the founder of CTR Media Network, and she's graced us with her presence today as well. So thank you for being here. All right. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you again Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Nancy, over there, the cat. Nancy, I know you over there hanging out. All right, everybody. See you again tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Love you all. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.